Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Tiravana Chari Adha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Hari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Hari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaura Hari Bo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya 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 Vishvada Paramahansa Paribhaja Acharya Ashtotar Sima Isi Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Karantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Shri Shri Ven Radha Veni Madhava Ki Gaura Pemanandi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third chapter, text number 20. Bile batoru krama vikramanye. Nashinvata karna pute narasya. Vasati dardurake vasuta. Nachopagayat yurugaya gata. Bile batoru krama vikramanye. Nashinvata karna pute narasya. Jivasati dardurake vasuta. Achopagayat yurugaya gata. Bile batoru krama vikramanye. Ashinvata karna pute narasya. Jivasati dardurike vasuta. Nachopagayat yurugaya gata.
Bile batoru krama vikramanye.
Bile batoru krama vikramanye.
Nashinvata karna pute narasya.
Nashinvata karna pute narasya.
Jivasati dardurike vasuta.
Jivasati dardurike vasuta.
Nachopagayat yurugaya gatha.
Nachopagayat yurugaya gata. Bile batoru krama vikramanye. Nashinvata karna pute narasya. Jivasati dardurike vasuta. Nachopagayat yurugaya gata. Vaishnavi. Batoru krama vikramaye. Vasati dardurike vasuta. Nachopagayat yurugaya gata. Vaishnavis. Batoru krama vikramate. Nashinvata karna pute sanasya. Jivasati dardurike vasuta. Nachopagaya Yurugaya Gata. Bile. Snake holes. Bata. Like. Urukrama. The Lord who acts marvelously. Vikraman. Prowess. Yea, all these. Na. Never. Shinbata. Heard. Karnapute. The ear holes. Narasya. Of the man. Jiva. Tongue. Asati. Useless. Dardurika. Of the frogs. Iba. Exactly like that. Sutta. Oh, Sutta Goswami. Na. Never. Cha. Also. Upagayati. Chants loudly. Urugaya. Worth singing. Gata. Songs. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. One who has not listened to the messages about the prowess and marvelous acts of the personality of Godhead, has not sung or chanted loudly the worthy songs about the Lord, is considered to possess ear holes like the holes of snakes and a tongue like the tongue of a frog. Everyone can please repeat. One who has not listened to the messages about the prowess and marvelous acts of the personality of Godhead, and has not sung or chanted loudly the worthy songs about the Lord, is considered to possess ear holes like the holes of snakes, and a tongue like the tongue of a frog. Purport. Devotional service to the Lord is rendered by all limbs or parts of the body. It is the transcendental dynamic force of the spirit soul. Therefore, a devotee is engaged 100% in the service of the Lord. One can engage in devotional service when the senses of the body are purified in relation to the Lord, and one can render service to the Lord with the help of these senses. As such, the senses and the action of the senses are to be considered impure or materialistic as long as they are employed only in sense gratification. The purified senses are engaged not in sense gratification, but in the service of the Lord in toto. Om Jnanatimidandasya Granjana Sharakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vichaitanya Mano Vishtam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakara Ayam Tadati Swaparantikam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyate Shatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, starting with verse 217, described the unfortunate person who doesn't use their time for serving Krishna. Rupa Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami repeated Avyarta Kalatvam, that we should use every moment for Krishna. No. Every moment. No. Manya Shunyata. And to do that, we have to be free from pride and different types of arrogance and self-indulgence. Then virakti, one should be detached from this world. But we can be detached from this world not by artificial detachment. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that such artificial detachment is mityachara, false behavior, meaning it's just mechanical. You can't become humble by imitating humility. You have to understand humility and practice it. So, Krishna's not in, one time Srila Prabhupada, he was walking, maybe more than one time, but in one time specifically, he was walking in Mexico and there were some people doing karate, jiu-jitsu, some martial arts. So Prabhupada said, they were going in the air like this, and Prabhupada said, they are trying to fight off death, but death will defeat them. They think they're fighting, but no. And then Srila Prabhupada saw a group of yoga people doing yoga, and he said, Krishna is not interested in your gymnastics. No. Otherwise, Krishna is not going for a show. Like sometimes the circus comes, Someone's walking on a rope, someone is flying through with some jumping in the air. No. And Krishna is not interested. He doesn't need to be entertained by mundane achievements. No. Because his devotees are practically as powerful as he is. So why does he need to see someone jumping on a rope or picking up 200 kilos? No. Nothing for Krishna picks up Govardhan. No. And why does he have to see someone picking up 200 kilos and be impressed? So this is foolishness of the living entity. So, sense gratification. What does it give us? It's being emphasized here. If we do something for sense gratification, so that means it's compared to two things here. Croaking of frogs, speaking about mundane things. Because why is it compared to croaking of frogs? Because when the frogs croak, they invite death. So this will be spoken later on. But I stopped here in the purport because it says that everything should be engaged in the service of the Lord. And all the limbs of the body, they're all made for serving Krishna. Just like we call what we're doing Sankirtan. So Sankirtan has many meanings. We come together to chant. But another meaning is Sankirtan, everything I have, my hands, my feet, my head, my tongue, my ears, everything should be used for Sankirtan. For Kirtan. So Sankirtan. I use everything to chant and to hear. Just like Srila Prabhupada said, the other day, here we have 2 tripods, and so they're very steady. If you try a bipod, it will fall over. And you try a unipod, and unless you're very expert, it won't even stand up. So, tripod, Srila Prabhupada said, you use the ear, the tongue, and the mind. These three things for chanting. You don't just chant and then put the body in automatic pilot. No, and it goes on chanting, and I'm thinking about something else. No. So this is the tripod of chanting. No, that the tongue, then it goes to the ear, and then it goes to the mind. Or also it says, Satam prasangam mama virya sambido, that bhavanti ritkarna rasayana kata. Or if you chant and you hear, especially if you hear in the association of purified devotees, then it goes into the ear and down to the heart. Or pravishta karna randrena. No. When the sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam enters into the ear, it will come to the heart and swanam bhavam saroruham. It will wake up our original relationship with Krishna. And if there's anything missing, if there's anything that's incomplete, then it will be cleansed immediately by the process of hearing. So hearing is very important, because by hearing we cleanse. By chanting, just like Lord Chaitanya says, that when we chant, Cetodarpana marjanam, first the gross material activities are cleansed, sinful tendencies. And then Bhava Mahadvagni Nirvapanam, then the subtle body is cleansed. And then Shreya Karya Vitaranam. Then you begin your life of auspiciousness, when you give up the gross bad habits and subtle bad habits. Subtle is more difficult. Therefore, this is called an artha nivritti. You have to get rid of all the unwanted desires. And then auspiciousness begins. And then as this auspiciousness, if we cultivate the auspiciousness by sadhana bhakti, by worshipping the deity, everyone should worship the deity. Just the next two verses from here, Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he says that everyone should worship the deity in their home. Every family, they should have a deity. He says, it gives many options. You can have Radha Krishna, Sita Ram, Gornitai, Shalagram, Matsya Kurma, whatever. Just have a deity of the Lord, Varahadev, and then everyone in the household engages. And Srila Prabhupada says, from 4 in the morning to 10 at night. Even at home, you do more than we do in the temple. And anyone over 12 years old should be initiated and engaged in worship the deity. So this is Srila Prabhupada's prescription. Not that at home we put the deity there and we don't pay any attention. I have my deity. Like having the deity there will, let the deity work hard so that while I'm watching television, it can purify my heart. Not like that. No. We worship the deity. We're begging. Srila Prabhupada said so many times that what does Krishna have to do in this material world? In Prayagraj or in Delhi, even worse. Prayagraj is a holy place. Yamuna and Ganga are here. But what does Krishna have to do in Delhi? Or what does Krishna have to do in New York or London? Or some other place? He comes only for blessing his devotees. That's the only reason he's come. So why does Krishna go in someone's home where we're simply engrossed in family affection and attachment? to home, body, and family. He goes to purify it. Just like Queen Kunti at the end of her prayers, she says, Krishna, please take away all this family attachment. Who is her family? The Pandavas. So why would she want to take away the attachment to the Pandavas? She wants to take away the external part, thinking that these are my sons. Let me see that these are your devotees. This is how we can purify family attachment. We see our son or our daughter or our mother or our father not in the biological or psychological attachment that comes along with automatically there. Even dogs, bears, cats, they have this ability to take care of their young or to depend on their mother. So it's not some special thing. The special thing is, if you can see that they are devotees, then your attachment will become purified, will become real. Because I'm attached to a devotee who is worshiping Krishna, who has Krishna in their heart. So this is real attachment. And we will expand that attachment, not just to our family members or our friends, but to every living entity. Samasarveshu bhuteshu. We see all living entities equally. So this is all accomplished by chanting and hearing. So therefore this chanting and hearing is very important. If you chant or you hear mundane things, otherwise it started with verse 17 and goes on until verse 23. No, I think 23. 22 is the last one. Yes. And so these are 5 verses that speak about, first, about the unfortunate living entity who does not take advantage of Krishna consciousness. And then 5 verses about different parts of the body if they're not used properly. So otherwise, if we don't use our head properly, just like Manigriva and Nalakuvara, they were praying to Krishna after they had been liberated by Krishna's mercy. And they said, previously, we put our head up and our chest out, being very proud. But now, it's better to have the head down and the chest in. Otherwise, bow down to Krishna. Then we will be blessed. So this is being emphasized here. So anyway, let me go on a little bit in the purport here. The Lord is the supreme with all senses, and the servitor who is part and parcel of the Lord also has the same senses. Rishikesha Rishikena. He is Rishikesh, and he is the Lord of the senses. And therefore our senses should be engaged in his service. Service to the Lord is completely purified, is the completely purified use of the senses, as described in the Bhagavad Gita. The Lord imparts instructions with full senses, and Arjuna received them with full senses. Thus there was a perfect exchange of sensible and logic understanding between master and disciple. So in the first canto, 18th chapter, in the beginning, it says there are 2 ingredients so that hearing will take place. One is Bhagavat Pradhana, someone who is expert in the Bhagavat, and the other one is Shushushaya, someone who is expert in hearing. We must be expert in these 2 things to have real Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, then there's a transmission. Otherwise, if someone's speaking and I'm sleeping, then there will not be any transmission. Or if whoever is speaking doesn't know what they're speaking about, like the Mayavadis or the professional Bhagavat Katha personalities, they're doing it for money. Devotee doesn't charge money for giving Bhagavatam. A devotee gives the Bhagavatam freely. Of course, giving the Bhagavatam set, yes, we ask them for a donation. Otherwise, we would run out of money very quickly. We gave away Bhagavatam sets. But to give the message of Bhagavatam, we not only do we give it, we beg people to take it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said to Nityananda and Haridas, go to every home, door to door, and beg people, please take this message. No. This is our process. We beg people. We don't beg to get something from them. We beg them to take what we are offering. No. That is our begging. No. Not that we beg. Of course, some people may do madhikari, or that you go and you beg some rice, like Shuklambar Brahmachari or Sudam Brahman, same person in different leelas. And Shuklambar would beg, and the people in Navadvip were so puffed up that they would give him the worst quality rice. Just one of these Vaishnavas. No, they're so poor because we worship Chandi, we worship Durga. She gives us so much opulence. They worship Krishna, and he doesn't give them anything. No. So I will also give them the worst quality. He had this very bad quality rice. But when he was in the kirtan of Lord Chaitanya, he was dancing in ecstasy. And Lord Chaitanya put his hand in the bag and took this broken rice. And Shuklambar was in anxiety, and the Lord ate it. No. And he danced in ecstasy. So this is Krishna. No. He is the wealthiest person, but he wants to become the servant of his devotee. But we don't want him to become our servant. No. It's not, some people think, oh, Krishna wants to be my servant, wonderful. He's got so much opulence, he's got so many, yes, great, wonderful arrangement. No. People think like that. Most religions of the world, even Hinduism, people come to the temple not to give something to Radhaveni Madhava, but they come to take something. Please do this, please do that. No. And why would we think that Krishna, he's enjoying in Goloka Vrindavan with Shrimati Radharani, the gopis, the cowherd boys, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Mai. Why is he going to come to, Prayagraj or wherever and help me get a new car? No, get a new car or make payments on my home. No, my new condominium. No, it's not his business. No. So why should we try to engage him in something? No. Just like if you go to some wealthy person and you say, could you buy me a pair of shoes? No. So Srila Prabhupada said, this is like shooting a mosquito with a cannon. No? So as you go to a wealthy person, you ask for, please donate this building for Krishna. No. Please give us 100 crores so that we can, no. That's what you do with it. You go, please can I have some shoes? Prabhupada told the story, just like an old woman. She's carrying some wood on her back, no, and she's walking, so much burden. So then she prays to the Lord, please help me carry this burden. No. But what? If you pray to Krishna, you say, please, no, give me a better occupation than carrying wood. No. Please let me worship your deity form. No. No. But she's saying, please help me, no, with this wood. So we're thinking that this is what Krishna doesn't, he will help the devotee if what the devotee is asking for is something that will contribute to their advancement, because that's what Krishna wants to give us. When Shukadeva Goswami asked, he requested, Parikshit Maharaj asked Shukadeva, why is it that the devotees of Krishna sometimes are not very wealthy, but the devotees of Shiva are very wealthy? So that's why many people don't worship Krishna. His name is Hari, he takes away. I want Shiva, he gives, no? So Shukadeva Goswami says, Lord Shiva is in charge of the 16 lingas of this world. He controls all the opulence of the material world. No? So he can give so much opulence. For Krishna's Parama, Purusha Prakriti Parama, that he is beyond Prakriti. And he wants to bring us to that place which is eternal and full of bliss. He doesn't want to give us something that will cause us misery. The famous story, of, what's his name? Of the devotee of Shiva, can't remember his name right now. Vrikasura, yes, Vrikasura. He's thinking, let me give something from get something from Lord Shiva, and immediately he wants to, he gets this benediction. One's head he touches, it falls off. So he wants to sample it with Lord Shiva. And there's a very great meaning to that. That when we get some benefit, some material benefit, then we don't care about the person who gave it to us. We're only thinking about getting the benefit. So we reject the person. So in the same way, he forgot about this person is giving me the blessing. It was very foolish. And then Lord Shiva went running, and Krishna, he inquired from Lord Shiva, why are you running? He explained. So then Krishna tricked him. And he ended up losing his own head. And so the point is that anything you get in this world, as Krishna says, niryoga kshema atmavan. First of all, it's very difficult to obtain, more difficult to maintain, and then it's even more difficult to give up. So even in this world, like people, they have attachment for husband to wife or man to woman, and so it's difficult. But you make the arrangement, then it's difficult to maintain, because personalities, different desires. And then, but even though it's difficult to maintain, it's more difficult to give up. So, but if you get Krishna consciousness, then everything becomes very wonderful. And so, this is what's being spoken here. Spiritual understanding is nothing like an electrical charge from master to disciple, as foolishly claimed, and the exchange of views between master and disciple is possible only when the reception is submissive and real. Tadvidi pranipatena paripasnena sevaya. Srila Prabhupada explained this, that first you become submissive, then you do service, and then you will know what to ask. Not that you ask unlimited questions that have no benefit. Srila Prabhupada many times said that is not a good question. Otherwise the question should be about service. So if you, with a submissive attitude, you perform service, then you'll know what question to ask. And Prabhupada said, otherwise you waste the time of the spiritual master with useless questions. So, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, one should receive the teaching of Lord Chaitanya with intellect and full senses, so that one can logically understand the great mission. So, receive the teaching. This is very important. We just finished Damodar Leela, and in Damodar Leela there are always 2 fingers short when Yashoda is tying Krishna. So these 2 fingers mean, first, the mercy of the Lord. That Bhagavat Kripa. That's one finger. The other finger is the effort of the devotee to receive that mercy. And the greatest mercy, the greatest benefit we can get in life is the teachings of Sri Guru and Gauranga. This is the greatest thing we can get. This is actually the greatest, Srila Prabhupada said, the greatest service you can perform for the spiritual master is hearing properly. You hear with attention, because then you will do what's required of you. And he won't have to repeat or say it or keep on instructing you about the same thing. One thing that Prabhupada was very frustrated, Prabhupada, when he said something and he had to say it again and again. So Prabhupada said to one devotee who he had to repeat it so many times, Prabhupada said, one time, all right, 2 times, acceptable. 3 times, you're out. Otherwise, after 3 tries, if you haven't captured the understanding, you never will. Why? Prabhupada was told that to one devotee. He said, why are you wasting my time? Make me say the same thing over and over again. Why do you waste my time? So we have to be attentive. If you're attentive, you will capture it. If you're not attentive, you will just be like, like here, the walls, they're also hearing what I'm saying, but they won't respond. They will sit there, stay there. So we shouldn't be like an object. We should try to capture the meaning of each verse of the Bhagavatam and put it into practice. This is what I recommend. Every day you take this message of the Bhagavatam, you remember it. If you can't remember, then you read it over again and try to see, why did this person say so many things about this verse? It must have some meaning. Prabhupada said that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur could speak on one verse for 2 months, which he did in Radha Kund. And so if each verse has so much meaning, certainly I can apply it to my life. I mean, some verses maybe, Daksha had this many daughters. That you may not be able to apply so easily. But of course you could apply it and think, if I have too many children, then I will get into trouble like Daksha. Otherwise, it'll be a big responsibility. Prabhupada said, 1 child, you can do service. 2 children, you can do a little service. 3 children, no service. Meaning there'll be no time. You have 3 children to take care of. You have full-time business. Especially nowadays. Previously, having children was an asset when people lived in the country. The more children you have, the more people to help, on the farm, planting. But in the city, each child is a liability. Each child means for the next 20 years, I will have to work very hard to feed, to clothe, to put them in school. Then they want to go to the university. That's, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs per semester, working very hard. And so, having children in Kali Yuga, therefore people are not wanting to have children so much. And this becomes sinful, because it's not that not wanting to have children, they remain celibate. If they did that, then that would be all right. Then we'd have forest would grow again. There'd be very few people. Become Satya Yuga, but that's not the case. Not that I'm not having children because of brahmacharya. I'm not having children because of economy. But we know that other things will happen. In the impure state of a living being, the various senses are fully engaged in mundane affairs. The ear is not engaged in the service of the Lord by hearing about Him from Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam. Certainly the holes in the ear will be filled with some rubbish. Therefore, messages of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam should be preached all over the world very loudly. So what do we say about Sankirtan? Brihat Mridanga, very loud. I mean, it can be heard in so many places. If we do Harinam, you can hear it for maybe 50 meters. No. If we do book distribution, people can hear it all their life. They get one book, they can hear it again. And if maybe somebody may hear the Harinam, they're trying to speak on their cell phone, and therefore they're thinking the Harinam is a disturbance. No, because I'm speaking on my cell phone. But if they get a book, no, then even if they're busy at the time of getting the book, later they'll have some difficulty, and Krishna will give them a signal because they have the book. That book is very auspicious. It's Krishna in literary form. So Paramatma will, when they're in anxiety, go to the book. No, give them some signal. Maybe after 1 year, 10 years, one devotee came to me and he said, now I remember you. He said, 20 years ago, you gave me a book, and then by chance, I came to this temple, not really knowing what it was, and I saw you again, and I remembered you gave me the book, and I went back and I read the book, and now I want to be a devotee. So, 20 years. And only just because he just remembered, for some reason he remembered me from 20 years ago. And he went and read the book. And then, and so this is the miracle of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, these books are like time bombs. You don't know when they'll go off. But when they do, you will become purified. So this is very loudly, preach over the world very loudly, meaning we should be very determined to give Krishna consciousness to others. That is the duty of a pure devotee who has actually heard about them from perfect sources. Many want to speak something to others. Well, first we'll deal with the ear. So, in the Bhagavatam it says, Shinvatam Shradaya Nityam, that if you hear submissively and attentively, Shinvatam Shradaya Nityam Grinatas Cha Prajashtitam, and you put it into practice. Not that you hear it goes in this side, it comes out the other, but it actually, as I just mentioned, goes to the heart. Then Kalena Nati Durgena, in a very short time, Bhagavan Vishate Hridi, Krishna will enter the heart. So, in the very beginning of the Bhagavatam, Pipata, Bhagavatam Rasam Alayam, Muhurdaho Rasika Bhubi Bhavuka, that it says that that Parikshit Maharaj drank this message, which was given Shukamukad. It was given by Shukadev Goswami, Amrita Drava Samyutam. Amrita Drava means it was explained properly. It was explained in such a way that it was digestible. It could be assimilated. So when we speak of Krishna consciousness, we should understand it properly so we can explain it properly. Not that you just memorize some shlokas and you show everybody how many shlokas I know. And then it will increase my pride. No. You make it understandable. We quote shlokas so that people know that what we're saying is authorized. Or because the shloka is explaining things very nicely. But then you have to explain the shloka in such a way that is meaningful. Otherwise, why quote it? We can go to any temple and you see the Brahmins there speaking 20, 30, 50 shlokas while they're worshiping the deity. And usually we don't understand what they're saying. Or if we understand it, is it entering into our heart? So, just hearing process and the chanting process. Just like Devaki said to Kapila Dev, after she had heard all this wonderful philosophy of Krishna consciousness, she said to him that, she said, Ya namadeya shravananukirtanad. When you take this namadeya, when you meditate on the name of Krishna, and when you hear and chant yat pravanad, and when you hear and chant, then you will be inclined to surrender to Krishna. Pravanad, no. And then yat shmaranad apikachit. Then you will remember. No? If you do these things, if you hear, you chant, you take the holy name seriously. No, not just somebody told me to chant and I do it. No, you have to understand that there's no difference. Abhinatvam namanamino. There's no difference between Krishna and his name. When I say Krishna, it's just like when I say Krishna, it should be the same as when I come and offer obeisances to the deity. That much feeling should be there. That much feeling. This is Krishna. And so, and then, swadhyopi sadhya savanaya kalpate. And then, if actually a person hears and chants with sincerity and bows down to the holy name and to Krishna and remembers Krishna, the whole purpose of hearing and chanting is to remember. No? Otherwise, if you hear and chant, you don't remember, you know that I'm not hearing and chanting properly. No? If you hear, like if we go to the Bhagavatam class, sometimes I go to a temple and I ask, what is the class? What is the verse? And somebody says, I don't know. So I ask them, were you in the class yesterday? Yes. That means you didn't hear. No. If you were in the class yesterday, you will remember. If you don't remember, it means you were just physically there, but you were not, your consciousness was not there. Your mind was not there. So then, the result then, kuta punaste bhagavan nudarshanat. What to speak? If even a dog eater can become completely purified by hearing and chanting and remembering Krishna and bowing down to Krishna. Because hearing and chanting means you will offer obeisances, meaning you will serve Krishna. You will surrender to Krishna. Offering obeisances doesn't mean some mechanical thing. No. People do that all day. They go to the gym, no, and they get up and down. No. They're not remembering Krishna, no. So you have to bow down and think, I am surrendering to the Lord. Not that I'm doing this, exercises. You can do that outside. No. You don't have to do that in the temple. No. So, and then it happens, that you remember, you hear this hearing process, so wonderful. And then what to speak of speaking about Krishna, that she said in the next verse, ahobata swatargadiyan yaj jiva gre vartate namatubhyam. If you hear properly, then when you chant, Krishna will dance on your tongue. No, otherwise you will have Krishna, we will want to speak about Krishna. And then you can understand that everything I've done in life is accomplished. All these Vedic processes, which are very difficult and complicated, they've been achieved by this hearing and chanting. No, that is the process in Kali Yuga. So, about chanting, he says, many want to speak something to others, but because they are not trained to speak on the subject matter of Vedic wisdom, they are all speaking nonsense. And people are receiving them with no sense. No, so Prabhupada uses a play on words here. Nonsense and no sense. No. So, and nonsense, that's what it means. It means no sense. Has no benefit. No. So, if you speak nonsense, then people will not understand what you're speaking. No. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was hearing from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and Sarvabhauma after 7 days said, "You haven't asked any questions. Don't you understand?" He said, Vedanta. He said, "I understand Vedanta perfectly. I just don't understand your explanation." No. And then he explained it, and Sarvabhauma surrendered. So, there are hundreds and thousands of sources of distributing mundane news of the world, and the people of the world are receiving it. No, social media. No, this verse right here. This is talking about social media. No. Similarly, people of the world should be taught to hear the transcendental topics of the Lord. Transcend app. No. And the devotee of the Lord must speak loudly so they can hear. The frogs loudly croak. As a result, they invite the snakes to eat them. Human tongue is especially meant for chanting the Vedic hymns and not for croaking like frogs. The word asati is used in this verse is also significant. Asati means a woman who has become a prostitute. A prostitute has no reputation for good womanly qualities. Similarly, the tongue, which is given to the human being for chanting the Vedic hymns, will be considered a prostitute when engaged in chanting some mundane nonsense. So that means social media is promoting prostitution. No. No, in most cases, unless it's used for Krishna. Everything becomes auspicious when it's used for Krishna. No. And this is the whole meaning of Bhagavad Gita. War becomes auspicious. No, a battle. Nobody considers battle. We see Gaza Strip, so many people dying. No, it's lamentable. Ukraine, all these things, lamentable. No. But Kurukshetra, that is not lamentable. That is glorious. Because through Kurukshetra, Bhagavad Gita was spoken. Yudhishthira was placed on the throne and established Krishna consciousness for the whole world. No. That battle was very auspicious. But these battles are very inauspicious. Because what are they fighting over? I want more territory. I have superior weapons. We are the best country. All that useless. Very useless. And so, this Krishna consciousness, therefore, is so auspicious because it is creating a wonderful atmosphere where people can properly use human life. And this is our duty. We are meant to create an auspicious atmosphere so that people can become Krishna conscious. And that atmosphere we have to create in the temple, because we don't own the world yet. Maybe we will someday. Maybe not. Probably not our generation. Maybe some future generation. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how did he create an auspicious atmosphere? First, he chanted in the house of Srivas, and then he took it out to the world. So we come and we chant here before the deity in ecstasy, and when we go out in Harinam, we chant in such a way that it's attractive for people. Not that they see us chanting and they don't understand what we're doing. We have to communicate, make it palatable and make it acceptable to the people. And even more than that, we go out with Brihat Mridanga. We go out and distribute books. But we have to create the atmosphere. What is the atmosphere for distributing books? It means that I have read the books and I know how to conduct myself and I have a purified heart, so that when that purified heart will allow me to feel compassion. I won't go out and think, let me distribute so many books, and then when I go back, everyone will glorify me. No, because I did so many books. No. You will feel compassion. And when you feel compassion, then the people feel within their heart that this person cares about me. And when they feel that way, they take the book more seriously. So this is the essence of our preaching, as Srila Prabhupada is saying here. We should be very careful to spread Krishna consciousness in such a way and create the atmosphere that, and especially here in India, ISKCON has a very great reputation. And therefore, what creates a good reputation for a spiritual movement? That the devotees are surrendered and have given up personal ambition. So if we want to create the atmosphere increase this atmosphere of the reputation of ISKCON, we have to serve without personal ambition. We can have the ambition, the personal ambition to glorify Krishna. That ambition is very good, but not to get something, but to give something. No, that ambition, our ambition is to give, to be able to give more and more. No, and then it will become very auspicious. So these are some thoughts on this verse. I'll stop here. Any comment or question? The microphone? Okay, here it comes. I keep saying everywhere I go, we should get expert devotee with drone. And you can take that drone, can just bring the microphone on a little cord and just hold it in front. And then the devotee cools off.
Very beautifully explained. This Sankirtan means engaging whatever we have, our body, mind, senses and resources in the service of the Lord and spreading it. I had one question, we hear again and again about cultivating humility and giving up arrogance. I personally want to ask about myself, is there any test which I can check day-to-day basis whether I am making, whether I am humbler than yesterday and less arrogant than yesterday? Is there something which I can do with myself to become a better devotee?
Is there some
test?
Taste?
Self-test. Self-test to test our arrogance.
Yeah, the secret is chanting Hare Krishna sincerely. Otherwise, we're always looking for something technical. Is there some way, means, can I avoid the normal process of purifying the heart by every day surrendering more to Krishna? Is there some way that I can, some magic pill, some spiritual pill I can take? All my pride, all my envy, all my lust disappeared from the heart. That's what we're doing here in the temple. If we feel arrogance, it means, or we feel anything, lust, anger, greed, illusion, then it means that I need to practice with more sincerity. Not that there's here, find the shortcut. That's why Srila Prabhupada makes the point in the purport that it's not some electrical transmission that the Guru touches your head and all of a sudden I'm Krishna conscious. And so just we apply ourselves. And if we're not, just like one time, one devotee, who I know very well, he told Srila Prabhupada, I'm not surrendering. So he thought Prabhupada would say, give him some special formula. Prabhupada said, this is not good. You are one of my older students. So why have you not surrendered? This is lack of sincerity. He didn't get the answer he wanted. So just we apply ourselves every day, and if we apply ourselves more, but not so much more that we become artificial. We apply ourselves a little bit more. Prabhupada said it's a gradual process. And that also, gradual process means that we have to have the patience. Utsahan, Nishchaya, Dhairya. These three things, they must be there. Utsahan means that I'm enthusiastic. Where does that enthusiasm come from? Associating with and hearing from more advanced devotees. That's where that creates enthusiasm. Then Nishchaya, determination. I must be very determined. I must have faith that what I'm hearing will supply everything necessary. And then Dhairya, I have to have the patience to wait that it will react. It will react with my consciousness, my heart, my senses will become purified. It will take some time. No. If we've been in the material world for countless births, then, and Srila Prabhupada said, you can get out in one lifetime. Imagine how much we have to apply ourselves. I spent, 2 million lifetimes in the material world, and now in this lifetime, I'm going to get out. So how much do I have to surrender? No, just do the math. No. You have to surrender very sincerely. No. Any other question? Yes.
Whereas today in this modern world, we see that cows are suffering a lot, and they are being cut down, and they are mistreated in today's world like cows. So how as a devotee we can see this, and how we can improve the condition of cows in this today?
For crows.
Cows.
Here it says, the cows? How can we do what with the cows?
Like how can we improve their condition? Like today we see that they are like
being slaughtered. Yeah. Well, we protect them. But cow protection doesn't mean we have a few cows here and we feel very good about it. No. Cow protection means that we protect a few cows and we preach it to everyone. No. Otherwise, that we got our cows. I'm doing cow protection. No. It means we have to protect all the cows by preaching Krishna consciousness. Protecting cows is another thing. Also, we can't see the cows like milk machines. We have to see them as our mother. So, would you? Anyway, I'm everywhere I'm going. I'm trying to teach the devotees how to take care of cows properly. You don't just, make them have a calf every year to squeeze out some more milk. You have to brush them and love them, and they will give 3 times more milk and not need so many calves. But sometimes we just get to the external process. More milk means more calves, and more calves means I need more land, and more land means I need more money, and I don't have the money, and therefore let me put all the cows all together in one little space, and they suffer. No. They suffer. So would we do that to our mother? No. To save money, let me put my mother in a home with so many other mothers. No. And no, it'll be more economical. And so we shouldn't do that to the cows. We must take care of them. We protect them by preaching Krishna consciousness and practicing Krishna consciousness. And then we can have our cows, and we can invite people to come and see. But we should take them to the cows and let them feed the cows and be with the cows and see how wonderful they are. And everyone then plays a part in stopping the so unholy. People nowadays, one of Prabhupada's godbrothers told me, he said, in Kali Yuga, the dogs are very fortunate and the cows are unfortunate. Practically no one is killing the dogs, only maybe Korea, China. Even China, they passed a law not to kill the dog, but the reason they passed that law is now they're having cows to kill. So, no, it's not that they gave up meat eating, but now they're just killing cows instead of dogs. And it's economical. You kill one cow, you can get so much more substance than a dog. Especially the dogs in India. Most of them are street dogs. They're not very fat. You don't get much substance out of the skinny dog. So this is very unfortunate. And we talk about the cow, but we're people in general say, yes, the cow is so wonderful. Well, why don't you protect it? Why don't you demand that? Just like one devotee told me, he went to a big, one wealthy person. He said, I will pay for all the bulls, for the street cows. I will pay for the bulls to be castrated so that they won't produce any more street cows. And they presented it to a politician. He said no. So then another politician who was favorable to the devotees, he said the reason he doesn't want to do it is because he's in the business of selling the cows to the slaughterhouse. So if there's no more street cows, then what will he do? How will he maintain his business? So this is how corrupt our society is. That even in a country where people understand that you're not supposed to kill the cow, they're still doing it. People from Tamil Nadu, they bring their cows to Kerala. And so what is their understanding? So yes, I love the cow, as long as she gives milk. And then we don't love the cow. One disciple of mine who went to Switzerland, she was very impressed how they treated the cows very nicely, even better than in India. But then I said, what do they do when the cow gets old? Ask them. Oh, we kill them. But we pray to God that they will go to heaven. So people just make up something in their mind to justify their Maya. So we should never justify Maya. We should try to overcome Maya. If you're in Maya, at least accept it. I'm in Maya, and someday I hope to get out. But don't justify it. Say, it's not a problem. Actually, my Maya is okay because, this and that. Okay?
Thank you, Madam.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I think maybe one more question.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this wonderful class. You were mentioning about this process of submitting and seva, and then asking relevant questions.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the current scenario of ISKCON, we see that there are multiple people whom we need to submit to, surrender to. So, Shiksha Guru, then the temple authorities, then Diksha Guru, the GVC, Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, how do we understand what is the proper process, or how do we begin first, where we should submit or how we should submit?
How do we
submit, or how we should begin the process of submission? Whom we should submit first? Or
Your question? The question?
yes.
Well, first do the service. And then whoever is involved in that process of service, you will ask the question to. That's more logical, right? Whoever you're doing service, there's some nice devotees there who have some understanding, so we ask the question. Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, whoever it is, whoever is available when I have a question. So the best service for asking questions is Shravana. When you're hearing Bhagavatam, then you have a question. That's the right moment to ask it. And you ask it to the most qualified person available. No. You don't ask Rupa Goswami because he's not available. If you would have been meant to ask questions to Rupa Goswami, the demigods would have arranged that you took birth when he was here. But we can ask questions to Rupa Goswami in the sense of reading those books that Srila Prabhupada has given us, Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Devotion. Then, if we the answer from what we're reading, and we'll understand it. Otherwise, we'll just go through the pages, and the words will come in, but we won't understand fully. Okay. So, thank you all very much for your kind attention. I pray that Shri Radha Veni Madhava give you all blessings so that you can push on this Sankirtan movement. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Shri Radha Veni Madhava ki jai, Jai Gaur Premanandi.
Hare Krishna. We would like to thank Maharaj for Sri Maharaj's association. Maharaj's personality very principled and very humble, very encouraging, always Maharaj, and very humorous also. And I really love Maharaj, hearing from you, Maharaj. I think we all do. Today also you told such gems of wisdom. Devotee means expert in hearing and chanting. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Maharaj said that may Shri Radha Veni Madhava bless so that we can push on the Sankirtan movement. So I remember actually position and then Maharaj was telling that we Prabhupada disciples have very less time left on the planet. Our main desire before we leave the body is to see that ISKCON has very good leadership at all levels. So actually the gems of wisdom which Maharaj shares, so that they ring in the heart, Maharaj. That's really, as yesterday also we were sharing that Maharaj said that don't just make temples for spiritual entertainment, where people come in big temple halls, just take darshan and take some prasad and just do some rituals and go out. You make I am going to different places and I am telling them you make kirtan hall, make halls for katha, so that you give them some substance.
The temple is also necessary because some people, that's all they can do at this point in their life. So they have to have the deity. But we want to put more energy and emphasis into teaching people about the glories of the holy name, and help them to chant properly, so that Srila Prabhupada said one time that the main deity in Kali Yuga is the holy name. Is the main manifestation of Krishna, who is the most merciful, because the holy name can be chanted anywhere, anytime. That deity is accessible. Whereas this deity, sometimes the curtain's open, sometimes it's closed, and even if you go before the deity, you may not take proper advantage.
So we really are thankful to Maharaj for being there. Actually, at this age, Maharaj is 74. I was just remembering his Bhakti Chalu Maharaj was also 74 in 2020. So, and I see all of them so young because of their spirit of Krishna consciousness and sharing Krishna consciousness, spending so much. Maharaj has been traveling everywhere in North India. Actually, Maharaj came to ICC meeting also. That was his appearance day also. But Maharaj is there in Vrindavan with us. and now he's traveling to various temples. So it's a great example Maharaj you are setting in service of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Jai. Hari Bol.
Guru Prasad Maharaj.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Everybody can join in the 5:30. Maharaj will take question answer in Saraswati for second floor.
हरे कृष्ण। तो भक्तों के लिए ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे यमुना बिल्डिंग की ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे प्रसाद की व्यवस्था है। तो जो भी भक्त प्रसाद लेना चाहते हैं वहाँ जाकर के प्रसाद ले सकते हैं। और जो डिवोटीज टेम्पल में रह रहे हैं ऑलरेडी उनका फर्स्ट फ्लोर पे रहेगा और बाकी डिवोटीज का ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे रहेगा।
क्वेश्चन का आंसर मिला, मुझे नहीं समझ आया। आंसर आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर।
हाँ, और भी पूछेंगे और डिटेल में पूछेंगे। कई बार हमें हम जो चाहते हैं पूछना उसके जगह हमें जो चाहिए होता है उसका भी आंसर मिलता है।
अरे चलना है।